My name is Rutendo Nyamwada and welcome to another exciting, phenomenal, experiential episode of In My 20s. In My 20s. So today's episode is actually really about traveling and our guest's travel stories and experiences that she's had. And I know it's been titled A Beautiful Mess, but the reason it's been titled A Beautiful Mess is because we actually renamed the quarter-life crisis A Beautiful Mess. So stay tuned until the end of the episode to see how that conversation came about. But without further delay, here is our lovely guest.
Hi, my name is Meghan Adams. I am 27 years old, born and bred in Cape Town, Mother City. I am a account manager and content producer for a television show. And I'm a 20-something-year-old who knows little to nothing about life.
In every episode of the In My 20s podcast, there are always these incredible epiphany gem moments, and this is just one of them.
I won't lie, when I first started working, where I'm currently working, I did think that I would never be able to take a holiday or take leave. And it actually came to a point where I was like, if I don't take leave, something's gonna give.
The In My 20s podcast is split up into 3 sections. In the first section, we get to hear a little bit more about Meghan's career journey. In the second section, we dive into today's topic, which is actually all about traveling and Meghan's traveling stories. And then rounding up all 3 sections is the title of today's episode, A Beautiful Mess. In this section, we will delve into Meghan's experience as a 20-something-year-old, and you'll see just how we renamed the famous crisis. Let's get straight into it.
So basically I started at UCT with the idea that I was going to be a journalist, as every young writer in high school does, you know, going to change the world with words.
Yes, that's beautiful. One word at a time.
You know, one word at a time. You get into university, you realize everybody thinks they're going to be a writer. You also get exposed to different things. And it was in university where I got exposed to the kind of film and media department, where I realized that I enjoyed film a lot more and film production side a lot more than I actually did the media side.
Okay.
So I specialized in that, in screen production mainly, and then in my honors for screen production and television studies, and then in my honors year more so like critical documentary filmmaking. From there, from graduating, went straight into a kind of internship job with an NGO doing PR communications, strangely enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
How one finds himself there, I don't know. For social media, so it was like filming certain videos in communities, a lot of like community coverage of work, which was great. And that was for like a year and a bit.
Okay.
And then from there went into television production, working on a morning TV show.
Stunning.
Content producing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're talking about like working, and I know you work super hard. You're one of the hardest working people I know. Wow, my English is gone. But at some point in your work, it's like this whole thing of like needing a break and needing a time out for yourself. It's like this thing of go, but you're going for a company.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, you're just a number. So how important is it to take that time out?
Oh my gosh, I cannot reiterate how important it is. And I think I only learned or realized that in these last 2 years that I've been working. I won't lie, when I first started working, where I'm currently working, I did think that I would never be able to take a holiday or take leave, or how am I going to fit this in? And it actually came to a point where I was like, if I don't take leave, like something's going to give. Like something, like, do you know what I mean? I'm going to drop a ball. Yeah. I'm not taking care of myself.
100%.
Giving myself this time out, and in order for myself like to work effectively and be the best person I can be at work, I need to give myself this break. And I will say, like, testament to my sister, she was someone that has shown me in the way she works and the way she works hard, but she plays hard as well. And I think it's like detrimental to have that balance. And it's only when you do take that time out and you do like take that leave from work to have a holiday. And I'm not talking about like take a week to like do your errands or admin or something. Like legitimately unplug and take a holiday, that you realize how important that time is. It puts like, as cliche as it sounds, it puts things into perspective as to why you're working firstly. Like, do you know what I mean? So you can have things and deserve things and work for things like holiday.
And I think the other thing is like burnout is something that's real.
So real,
people, like,
especially like, what's so scary is like burnout is so real for people like our age, in our 20s, which you would not.
It's crazy.
Think.
It's crazy. Like people taking like anti-anxiety pills,
dude, antidepressants,
people taking things to just help themselves concentrate. I won't lie. Okay, so I take like omega-3, 6 and 9. It's like in one little pill.
That sounds fancy.
But it's like, because I need that, my mind is everywhere, that I need that focus. But it's crazy, like talking about depression, anxiety, burnout. Have you experienced any of them, by the way?
I definitely high anxiety. Like that's something I've always suffered with, and something I've always personally had to manage and control. But like you would never, I don't think you would ever tell, knowing me as a like as an individual.
It's like that still waters run deep.
But I think it's with most people that you don't expect, like you know, depression or anxiety, or is with the people you least expect. Kind of
and why
thing.
do you feel like people don't actually talk about it? Like no one goes out and says, obviously you never get a sticker that says, hi, I suffer from like anxiety or depression, because there's a stigma attached to it.
Definitely. And it's so important to talk about these things, and I think that's why I was so excited when you originally told me about your podcast and your podcast idea. And it was also after Hoytie's podcast, and then talking to her afterwards when she did it, is that you've created a platform where these conversations can happen and they should be happening. And why are we not sharing that? Oh, hi, I'm Megan and I like suffer from anxiety. It makes everyone else, like someone else who hears that, who's also feel normal, because it is something you're also going through. But why pretend like you're not? Don't be afraid to share what you're going through, especially with your friends and your colleagues, because like 100% of the time they're going through the exact same thing.
That's so true. It's so true. There was a time when we worked together at the same place.
So beautiful.
And I think I told you, and it seemed like so lighthearted, but remember when I used to tell you 6 floor days? Remember I used to tell you like my arm, like I was always feeling something in my arm.
I was so worried about your arm.
I would always just say it like, guys, I could feel it in my arm. But like my one arm, I think it was always in my left arm, and my right arm I'd always just say keep working. I was like, I can't do anything, but I need to get the brief out. I need to get it because the earth is gonna shake if I don't get the brief out.
I was going to pretend that's not normal.
I know, but I didn't leave the office and I didn't go see a doctor. I didn't do anything about it because I was like, the work was more important. But the work should never be more important than your health.
It is so important to look after yourself. And it's like, I almost feel like we feel guilty that we need to say, oh my gosh, I need to look after me. Or like, you know, like everyone goes on about this. And I see it all over social media. Is this self-care. Self-care is so important. But it's true. It really is. Because if you're not looking after yourself, how can you expect other people to respond to your energy?
100%, exactly.
If you're not giving them your best energy.
I struggle for long periods of time to just do nothing. Even now, like I haven't watched a new series in such a long time because I feel like I should be doing something. And it's that anxiety of if I'm not doing something,
it is
then
that
what am I
it's
doing?
like I almost call it time anxiety. Like
Beautiful.
It's that I get it, like, even in the mornings, getting to work, that kind of thing. You know, you start work at a certain time and you're like, okay, cool, I've got to get there, And then you get to work and you're like, why was I stressing about getting here on time when I'm here on time every morning?
Time anxiety.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep, Megan.
Well, for me, that's what my anxiety stems down to. It's also that, like, notion of, am I doing enough with my time? Am I being lazy by watching this whole like season of series?
Sure.
Binge watching it, like kind of thing.
So it's a definite mind moment.
Yeah.
Definite.
Oh, mind moment.
It's a mind moment.
Is that your aha moment?
It's
you
my
know, like
aha
Oprah has her aha moment.
Yeah, I have a mind moment.
Oh my god. I love that alliteration.
Yeah. Amen. Because it's also just like, what are you doing with your time?
Yeah.
And also just knowing that how short life is and going through life, and are you doing enough with the time that you're in? Are you doing enough in the time that you're in your 20s or being a millennial or being in your 30s or your 40s? Like, I think that time anxiety is one of the roots for a lot of the issues that our generation has, if I'm very honest. You have traveled quite a bit. Like, this is like such a beautiful thing.
Travel is beautiful.
What is it about traveling? Like, you have obviously a clear passion for traveling. I've seen your Instagram feed as well. You love traveling and you love imagery and you love beautiful pictures and you love taking beautiful pictures. But what is it about traveling that you feel is so, I guess, satisfying?
So I think what I love most about traveling is the idea that you're going to visit a place and be a part of something that is bigger than what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's acknowledging that you're going to visit a country where there are people like in your country, but like doing completely different culture or lifestyle or just way of life. Yes. And it's very interesting to be a part of that, observe it, learn from it, I suppose, in a way, but also to just be exposed to it, which I think is the most important thing about travel, is you're exposing yourself to other people, other culture. I actually hate it when people say expose yourself to other cultures. What even is that? And I just said it. I want to die. How do you expose yourself to other cultures? Is it like
you put yourself in the middle and you're like, I'm exposed?
Do you know what I mean?
To your culture.
I actually feel embarrassing that. But can I give you actually an example of something like that? Is me and my sister traveled this year to South America, and we went to Brazil, and a big part of Brazil is what they call the favelas, which is like their equation, like to our shanty town, like kind of township vibe. So a big thing is like to go on a favela tour. And for some reason, like, it didn't sit well with my sister and I, because we were like, we wouldn't go on a township tour in Cape Town or Johannesburg, because why would you go tour someone's living situation to be like, so why would we do that in another country? So I think it's things like that.
That's interesting.
That when I say being exposed to another culture, it's also forcing you to acknowledge things back home that you wouldn't otherwise.
But on that is the fascinating thing about being able to travel, being privileged enough to travel, whether it is just outside your city or outside your country or within the continent or on another continent, is that one, yes, you get to see other cultures and customs, but have you ever thought of yourself being born into another country or continent that is completely different and what that would look like?
100%. Definitely. I mean, I've had this conversation with you before, in the sense of like when you go to another place, like another country, and you look like the people from there, it is a very surreal and interesting feeling. And I can give you 2 examples of that. So I'm from a mixed race background. So my dad is colored and my mom is white. So I look white to people, but I've got very dark features. I look Portuguese, almost like Spanish a little bit. So when I visited Istanbul in Turkey and Greece, it was like people that looked like me. Like it was people spoke their language to me because they thought
you felt like you were at home.
Yeah, I was like, my people, I have arrived.
I can't respond to you in your language, but I'm here.
I don't know, but I have arrived to the motherland.
Amazing.
Kind of thing. So it is, especially coming from South Africa, we are such a melting pot of people. Like we are literally, and you realize this when you travel, is we're one of the few places where people look so different. We have people that look like they're from Brazil, like they're from Greece, that they're European, 100%. That they, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then to go to a place where people solidly look like they could all be related. And you could be related to them is a very interesting,
because you could kind of just like immerse yourself in the culture and you'd probably just need to learn the language, but you wouldn't feel different because you looked like everyone else.
It's odd, like it's an odd realization, but then it also makes you realize how connected everyone is in terms of like our ancestry or our lineage, or it comes from somewhere.
That is beautiful. Like I would want to go to a place and just be like, hi.
I feel like you'd feel at home in any place.
Oh yeah, so go to South America and be like, my people.
Actually, there are South American Brazilians.
Oh, really?
You got a very Brazilian vibe to you.
I'll be there. What are some of the top destinations that you have traveled to?
Well, top 2 places for me at the moment was definitely Greece. Like that was just like you can't plan a holiday as perfect as going to Greece.
Beautiful.
Like it's picturesque, it's the postcard.
Yeah.
It's
Describe like what is the feeling? Like what is it how is it different to South Africa and how is it maybe similar?
It's actually similar in a lot of ways in terms of landscape. They're very blessed like we are, especially Cape Town, with the beautiful mountains, the seas, just, but it's like and I've spoken to you about this before, it's a very European thing as well, is no, they take life slowly, but it's that appreciation of like mundane everyday life, which is something I found so beautiful about Greece.
Yeah, the pause, like
it was literally like a pause. It was like Cape Town and Joburg as well. It's that like hustle. It's that it's like we've got to be doing something. We've got to be constantly like, if we're not working, then we've got to be out with friends. If we're not out with friends, then we've got to be doing an activity. We never can just like be.
So tell me about an epic travel moment.
So we went to South America. So we went to Brazil and Argentina. And then on the day we were flying out, like after the whole epic trip, it was amazing. The day we're flying out, we checking in online the night before, and they're like, oh, the country is going through a national strike.
Oh, wild.
No flights are going out in the next 48 hours because it was the national airline Latam.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, you won't be getting any airline sponsors after this. So we were like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? My sister needed to be in Japan the following day. Like, she was literally landing. We were flying out from Argentina to Cape Town, and she was literally in there was like the afternoon flight. She was flying out to Japan.
Oh, wow.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So this like was going to have like such a knock-on effect. It was also, it's a very, like, you've been on this amazing trip that has gone according to plan, that you've had these amazing experiences and you've ticked boxes, you've gotten everything you want out of it, and then for something to derail it, and also to have that feeling of like, and it was so, I only really reflected on it after the trip, is that feeling of like being literally stranded in another country with maybe not enough money, or like
people
exactly. It's like God, like thankfully we weren't like young students who were like on our last 10 rand, like, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. I can only imagine that would have been horrific. But it is that feeling of like, shit, like there is nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do, and it's kind of like when those like situations arise when you're traveling, to kind of make the best of it and not dwell on it. I mean, we had to cry at Countess.
Oh wow. Make the best of situations. What did you do? We
cried at Countess. I mean, you know how it goes.
I know.
We're just two South African girls.
And mine is always like, I'm so sorry, I'm late for my flight. This is the first time I'm flying. I really need to be on this flight. Why? I just really need my paid. Okay.
Don't want to pay more money. Yeah, that kind of thing. So that was definitely like.
And then did they let you through like after your tears moments?
No, we because it was like 3 connecting flights. Okay. So we were literally flying from Argentina to Sao Paulo to Brazil to Cape Town, and then they had put us like on redirected flights to like Frankfurt.
Oh wow!
Like and we were just like, no, we literally would have been traveling for 2 days.
So literally were like,
yeah. So it like from airport to airport, we had to like hustle at each different counter, because they can only help you in the one direction.
That's like a TV show waiting to
going.
happen.
It was very interesting. Yeah. No, it was interesting.
But looking back at your 20s, right? So you are 27.
Oh, don't remind me. God.
You're almost 30. No longer 25.
Yeah.
But essentially, looking back on your 20s, what has your journey of being in your 20s been, if you were to summarize it?
It's definitely been like a journey of self-discovery, but also like your 20s is your time, the time period in which you are actually realizing who you are as a person. Like you're becoming confident and comfortable with that person, and if I look back at like who I was at like 22, 23, it is completely different to the person I am now at 27. Like you can't even compare the two.
In what ways?
It's just like I'm not self-conscious. Don't think about like what people think about me. I like do me. I have a voice. I like and I can see it especially in the work environment where I would have been so scared before to like give my opinion on something. And now I'm just like no. And I think when you see that growth and you realize it, you also realize the many layers to being in your 20s has.
Yeah, I like what you said about the layers of being in your 20s because, and in the previous podcast that I had with Massey, and he spoke about how not everything happens at the same time, and that's part of like the whole crisis thing.
And that's okay as well.
That's completely okay, yeah. But I think coming back to the layers, it's like those are the layers. You have the layers of your self-identity, and then layers of fitness, and the layers of like relationships, layers of family relationships, getting to know yourself. And they're all of these things, but you never really do the one thing or do everything at the same level. Yeah. Almost, yeah.
No, never. And it's like, also, I don't think, like, even, like, say, you and me, for example, we're the same age, but we can't compare and act like we maybe should be achieving the same things at this age, or because it's completely different. Like, you could be in a completely different state of mind or phase in your life where things that are of a priority for me right now in my life are not of a priority for you, and vice versa. So it is just...
Yeah. It's like, what is it? And even as you're saying that now, very interesting enough. So if you compare two people the same age, say they're like 28.
Yeah.
And the one, or even like take it younger, because I know people who got married younger. So say two people, they're 24.
Yeah.
And the one is married, and the other is not married, but she's focusing on her career.
Yeah.
At some point, perhaps that lady focusing on her career will get married and maybe want to focus on her kids. And so she's had that career, like it's the switch. And that person who maybe got married earlier might focus on her career or become an entrepreneur later. So it's like you never know what the balance is. So by comparing your life to someone else or saying, I want what they have, again, that journey of you don't know, as you're saying, you don't know what their journey is, or you don't know where they're going to land up. So.
And the same thing doesn't work for everyone. Like, when it comes to like a certain job, relationships, you know, the same mold doesn't fit everyone, and you can't force that mold onto everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely. I like that. And Megs, have you experienced the quarter life crisis or crises?
Oh, definitely. I think it's when you get to a point where you don't recognize who you are as a person, or where you're going, or what you're doing, and you're just steaming ahead for what? That you literally you stop. Well, this was for me personally. You stop and you just like, what am I doing? It's literally like a, what the fuck?
It's like, skirt.
Yeah. And it's like you play your life back, and it's like, it's like, oh my god,
how did I get here?
Whatever.
And where am I going?
Yeah. And essentially, in my quarter life crisis, so to say, I came to the realization: what do I want out of life? What am I getting it through what I'm doing? Am I getting it?
So it's like an ongoing.
It's messy. But it's a
beautiful mess.
Ooh, that's like your autobiography.
A beautiful mess.
A beautiful mess.
Ah, it's like abstract.
Yeah,
abstract
like
art.
I know where the things are, but it's just messy.
Yeah. It's like my cupboard. Yeah. No, literally. I know where everything is. I just put my hand in the like top. But yes, I like that. And then, so how are you are you coming out of that? Because you said you're still trying to figure out, and you know
mind moment.
I might even tear up actually.
No, what?
It's so beautiful.
What?
It's like it only took 7 podcasts to realize. I think we can wrap it after 7. In my 20s, lasted 7 more episodes. It's like the quarter life crisis is, for many people, it's not about like the physicality of what they look like, and it's not about I don't know, friendships or relationships. It's this whole thing of like, what am I doing? And it keeps coming back to this thing of purpose. And it's the one thing that is almost intangible that you keep running after. Like, you know, you have a sense, you have an like inclination of like where life is leading you. But it's like the striving for it is that.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we should be calling it a crisis even. Like, what do we
I know.
call it? Like, because I think
it's not a crisis.
It's not a crisis. I think it's actually something. I think it's.
Is it not growth? Is it not personal growth? Like,
it doesn't have
sounds like a disease. Yeah.
But it is that, like, maybe it is the quarter life, as you were saying, like the beautiful mess. Maybe that's what it should be called, a beautiful mess.
A beautiful mess.
And Megs,
rude.
What advice do you have for people who want to travel? They're like, look, I've worked hard.
Yeah.
I've worked hard. I want to now take some time out. What advice do you have? How do they go about traveling?
Just book the tickets.
Yes.
Just book the ticket. It's something you've got a date then to work towards. You can't back out.
Because you paid.
Yeah, because you paid that.
So salary comes in, you're like, book.
Pay
and then just eat 2-minute noodles.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're going on holiday. But also, I think we're so lucky today to have so many travel options at our fingers that are super affordable and that also allow for payment options where you're literally paying it off monthly, so it's not a huge chunk straight away. And I don't think that many people are aware of these options that are available. So put a little research into it. Like actually make it a priority because you're not gonna regret it.
I love that.
That kind of thing.
If you were to summarize what your 20s should be for someone who's like, look, like I just off the cuff. No, I'm not even gonna like give you any time.
3 words.
What should your 20s be?
Young, wild, and free.
To be young and wild and free.
Your 20s should be messy. Like, I know we're talking about this beautiful mess, but it's like, it is so messy, your 20s. Let it be messy. But like, obviously, within boundaries, that kind of thing. But just to know that it's okay that it's messy. And it's okay that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's normal.
Thank you so much, Megan, for your insight into today's episode of In My 20s. I know that just like me, there are so many people who are listening today who are like, yes, I'm gonna be on a holiday. Just book the ticket, guys. Book the ticket. The December holidays are right around the corner and payday is soon. So what I'm saying is take Megan's advice, book the ticket, have the noodles, and all will be well, okay? In December, you will be in Bali. Receive. So we'll see you same time, same place, right here on In My 20s. In my 20s, in my 20s. How old are you? I am in my 20s, 20s, 20s. I am in my 20s and you are probably too. Bye.